Imagine having kids that have learned how to resolve their own conflict and you not having to play referee 5 times a day. This is entirely possible, and if you are tired of the constant bickering and the fighting, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Mike. Welcome back to the channel. I've taught over 3,000 students ages 4 all the way through teenagers, and on this channel we help parents and families develop a culture of respect, positive discipline, and cooperation. When your kids are constantly fighting and tattling on each other, it's miserable. It's miserable for you, it's miserable for them. And in this video, we're going to teach you a technique that has worked amazingly well, and you can implement it in your family today. All right, so let's get to the content here. About 15 years ago, my oldest son was 10, my middle son was around 6, and they were not getting along. And it was painful. It was kind of miserable. And luckily, I came across a picture. It's common now. You guys have seen this picture, but back then, I had never seen it before. And it's the picture where you have 2 kids. They're wearing one of their dad's shirt, and both of the heads are sticking out of the neck. And then mom or dad writes something like, "We can't get along," or nowadays, everybody's writing, "This is my get along shirt," right? You've probably seen it. I saw that. I says, that is brilliant. But I also says, I don't think this is practical. And it's not practical because you wouldn't take your kids to Walmart having to wear that shirt. They can't go swimming, they can't play, they can't do their homework, they can't eat. So here's how we did it. We set it up so that the 2 boys had to stay within arm's length of each other 24/7. And the only exception to that is if one of the kids had to go to the bathroom. And if one of them did, the other kid had to stand right outside the door. So when you opened up the door, you were immediately back into arm's length. And we made a huge deal about this, that they could not be any more than arm's length. And we didn't do it for a couple of hours. We did it for a couple of days. We did it, if I remember right, we did it for 3 days. But by day 3, we knew it had worked, or it was working anyways, because we started to hear them compromising with each other and not fighting about who's going to get what. They were actually compromising and coming up to a win-win situation. And as soon as that happened, we says, okay, you guys are done. Now, after that, we continually reinforced that idea of working out compromise. You guys work it out yourselves. You don't need mom and dad to do this. If you do, come get us. But most of the stuff you can work out for yourself. And you know what? In those 3 days, they actually learned how to do it. And our youngest son, he just picked it up by watching the older 2. Now, there are 2 keys to making this work if you want to have a long-term solution. And the first one is they're kids, so you have to reinforce it. You can't do it for 2 hours or for 2 days and then think it's going to work. Because if they do it for 2 days, I can guarantee you 2 days later, they're going to have forgot it. What we did is we just kept over and over and over again covering, say, hey, isn't it nice that you guys are now getting along? And they actually had buy-in. Well, this had a long-term effect. And we've started, I'm not kidding here, we started having courtesy wars before the boys because they got it so much that they were almost arguing about who could give the other kid the bigger slice of pizza. I'm not even joking. That's really what happened. So that's one, is reinforce. And the second one is you have to remember this isn't punishment, and you can't frame it that way with your kids. It's a workshop. They are workshopping how do you get along. They're practicing how do you get along, how do you compromise. So it's not punishment, and we don't want shame. What we want them to learn is a skill. And once they learn that skill, they can take that skill with them everywhere they go. And that's one of the things to tell your kids. You're going to learn something very important by learning this. And you and your brother are going to get along much, much better. Now, before I let you go, I have a question. Have any of you guys seen that picture? I'm sure probably many of you have, but have any of you actually tried it? Because I would love to know how it worked for you and how you implemented it. So if you would, drop a comment. I would love to hear what you did, and I'd like to maybe ask you some follow-up questions if you did it different than us. If this was helpful, if this was useful to you, if it gives you any hope, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next week.